I'm Shane from Shane's With Law. This is one of our client victory podcasts. Today we're talking with Alex. He recently got a great result for one of our clients. So Alex, tell me about the accident itself. What happened?
So MT, he was driving along straight. Then all of a sudden, a landscaping vehicle just pulls out and completely runs a stop sign. And MT just T-bones him.
Well, yeah, because he's got the right of way, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then after that T-bone, they both rolled off the side of the road and into a barrier.
So pretty significant hit, I would say.
Yeah, it was a really bad hit.
Did they fight on liability or did they admit what happened?
They almost admitted immediately that the bumper was pushed all the way to the windshield of our client's vehicle.
Wow. Okay. What were MT's injuries at the scene?
At the scene, he just complained of just neck and knee pain.
So it didn't seem, I don't want to say that bad, but it seemed like a regular run-of-the-mill type injuries, but that's not the case.
Absolutely, just seemed just like a normal situation, just neck and then just joint. However, upon further inspection, he actually had a brain injury.
Oh, wow. So I guess the force was so severe, he hit his head during the collision?
He hit his face on the steering wheel, then hit his head right back against the neck rest.
So what happened with that?
So he wasn't really actually experiencing any of these head symptoms until a few days after the crash. He started throwing up, he felt nauseous, he felt dizzy, he was having sensitivity to light, having sensitivity to noise. His mom realized that he was more irritable, he was getting into trouble at school.
So how old was he?
He was 16 at the time of the crash.
Okay, wow, so he's a kid basically.
Yeah.
Driving along, it's no wonder he didn't really know what was going on. And then his mom is like, dude, you're not normal.
Yeah.
And what happened? What kind of treatment, what were we able to do for him?
So for him, he ended up having 2 disc bulges in his neck, the brain injury that we talked about, and then he had a bone bruise on his knee. So for the bone bruise, what happened was we got a steroid injection in his knee, and then for his neck, we gave him a facet joint injection, and we also gave him a branch block.
Okay, and did that relieve those issues?
Yes, according to the notes, he had 100% relief in those areas.
Okay, so that's wonderful.
Yes.
And what about the brain injury?
The brain injury, we actually had to get a DTI brain scan to determine that he even had this in the first place, because he went through the oxygen therapy, he went through just taking some caffeine pills, and nothing was working.
And when we talk about those caffeine pills, were those, did you just decide on that, or did the doctor prescribe it?
The doctor prescribed it because they thought that the caffeine pills would just help out. It's just similar to if you have a normal migraine, you take Excedrin.
Okay, so, but this is just a more advanced version of that, I guess,
This
right?
is Excedrin plus plus.
All right, so that didn't take care of it. Mom said he's still acting not normal, is what I will say, a little grumpy. So what, and then what's a DTI? What is that?
It's just a fancy MRI for your brain.
Okay, and I know some of those, that when they have that DTI, it can show the parts of the brain that were injured in a collision, and it looks different than it does normally for a healthy brain. Did he have some of these areas?
Yeah, so actually he had white matter damage in the front side of his brain.
Okay, which would make sense because you said his head hit the steering wheel, right?
Yep.
What did the insurance company say when we presented all this evidence to them?
So the insurance company, actually, they just offered $140,000, and I said, no way. And so then I got him a life care plan. And then with that life care plan, we're able to get that number up to $235,000.
So what's a life care plan? What is that?
So a life care plan simply just states, hey, this individual will need X amount of care, they'll need X amount of treatment, and this will cost X amount throughout the course of their life.
So we got this, the insurance company then greatly increased their offer. What did the client and his mom say when you told them the news?
They were crying on the phone to me. I told him to not go and buy a car with it because after all is said and done, this kid walked away with over $100,000 in his pocket.
Wow. Okay. Mom and him were ecstatic, you said?
They were ecstatic, crying on the phone.
What they said they're going to use the money for?
In this case, he's actually going to use it as soon as he turns 18 to put a down payment on a house.
Wow.
Which is crazy considering he's 18 now.
Yeah, so he can have a house, what, he's 18, 19 years old?
At 18 years old.
Wow. Well, Alex, it sounds like he was lucky to have you, and it sounds like you did a great job. Getting that life care plan almost doubled the insurance company's offer. And if you hadn't done the DTI in the beginning, who knows where those numbers would have been. So it sounds like a great job, and sounds like he was lucky to have you as his lawyer.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, and I like to think that he's lucky as well.
All right. For all of our listeners out there, if you hit like and subscribe down below for more client victories from Shane's With Law, click the bell for notification. And remember, if you're in pain, call Shane, 980-999-9999.
In pain, so I call Shane, 980-999-9999. In pain, call Shane.